Get this out the way. Just a Ravens fan. Just a Ravens fan. Rough game last night, y'all. Rough way to start the year, man. I don't got too much to say, with a lot to say all in the same time. It was rough, man. Let's start off with the most obvious, and then just move on from there. All right, offensive line, abysmal. Offensive line is very, very bad. Very, very, very bad offensive line. Um, they got to get better. Lamar won't even be able to make it through the season with this kind of O line, bro. This is ugly. The O line is pathetic. The O line is pathetic. I could tell from the very first drive they didn't completely understand their assignments in which they needed to block. Even if they did get their assignments, they got manhandled at times, stunts. They can't hold a pass block. The run blocking wasn't even too much better. So the O line needs some work, man. The boys gotta put in some pain. Probably the worst offensive line I've seen us have in a while, in at least 4 years, 5 years. Defensive line almost just as bad. They made a few key plays. They started getting better towards the second half, and they had their moments. I'll say that they had their moments, but the D line isn't looking stout. It isn't looking scary. We sitting back in zone a lot, just letting it just patch Mahomes. We're gonna get destroyed just sitting back in zone. They're gonna eat the zones up. That's just what it's gonna be. Which brings me to the next thing: coaching. The Chiefs. Andy Reid is just a better coach than John Harbaugh. Even unprepared, that team is way more prepared. If that makes any sense, we're not gonna lose to the Chiefs because of lack of talent or this Lamar versus Mahomes thing. Like, Mahomes didn't outplay Lamar yesterday at all. It's not about that. It's about the coaching, man. These guys, Andy Reid are gonna have these guys ready for every situation that could possibly come up during this game. Andy Reid is gonna have a trick up his sleeve for every situation that could come up in the game, and we just don't have that, man. We just don't have that. Back to the old line, but this coaching too, we weren't disciplined in the first half. 45 to 50 yards and penalties just in the first half or whatever. Time management. We in the third quarter with 8 minutes and we don't have timeouts. And then of course we could talk about the last. Why are we not giving it? Let's talk about this first. Why are we not giving it to Derrick Henry? Why do I keep seeing Justice Hill? I want to see Derrick Henry in the game for every play until he's huffing and puffing and calls for a breather, bro. I don't want him and Justice Hill sharing reps. I'm sorry, bro. I want to use Derrick Henry. Now, Justice Hill had 8 targets yesterday out the backfield. We keep throwing nothing but screens. Since when is that our identity? I don't know. All we doing is screen plays. I understand because the line is so terrible. We want to do screens to try to get the ball out quick. But it got to be something. It got to be another way. The screens don't work. I don't want to be giving it. Justice Hill don't deserve it. What? Derrick Henry got, 13 rushing attempts. Justice Hill had about 8 targets and 2 carries. Derrick Henry should be getting way more than 3 more looks than Justice Hill, bro. I don't care if it looks like the line is collapsing, they're not blocking or what. Bro, by the end of the game, the Chiefs huffing and puffing, but because we don't have any timeouts, so now run is almost not even an option in their head. But they're huffing and puffing, which is the perfect time to start running that bitch with the biggest running back in the league, 250 pounds. So I don't think we used him properly. I think it was more to be said about Andrews than what was let on. I think Andrews was more hurt than what was let on. And then we could talk about what everybody else is going to talk about. The missed throw, the two missed throws at the end. I'll also talk about us not spiking the ball. We could have got like 3 to 4 more plays off if we just get that first down and spike the ball. We have 4 down territory. We literally have to go for it anyway. So we get 3 more plays off. Or 2 more, whatever the hell. But that didn't happen. I feel like that's a coaching thing. Not prepared for the situation. And then and now what everybody else is gonna cling on to with the Lamar overthrow to Zay Flowers, and he had a few overthrows. Lamar had some bad throws, brother. He had some bad throws. If he hits Zay Flowers, we tie the game, or we go for 2, whatever. This is true. But look, we have to keep in, and this is coming from someone that used to hate on Lamar. We got to keep in mind, do he need to make those throws 10 out of 10? Yes. Yes, he does. He has to make those throws. I'm not holding him accountable. I'm holding him accountable for those throws. Those throws would have tied the game. But the little things leading up to those throws would allow us to beat the Chiefs properly, how we could beat them. When we play them, they don't look superhuman. They're just executing. They're executing their game plan, and they're limiting mistakes. We even able to force mistakes with the interception or whatever. But they're limiting their mistakes and they're exiting their plan. Patrick Mahomes didn't outplay Lamar at all. Not even close to it. And he didn't have to. Because they find our weaknesses, they exploit them, which is a part of their game plan that they're executing. And they just play sound football, bro. They just play sound football. And until we could get that down, until we could limit these mistakes, that's time-wise, turnover-wise, all of that. We're not gonna beat those guys, man. We're just not gonna beat those guys, man. We're not. Lamar can't do it all. He had 16 rushing attempts and threw the ball 41 times, 41 passing attempts. What's that, 57? That's 57 attempts by one man. He had 120-something yards on the ground. We can't play. This isn't the NBA. 1 on 11 isn't going to work. 1 on 11 isn't going to work. 3 on 11 isn't going to work. We can't just keep forcing it to Zay Flowers, keep forcing it to Justice Hill. Zay Flowers and Likely, and then Lamar got to run for his damn life. So by the time it's time to make the damn throw, who knows if he's freaking tired, beat up. Well, the man is out there running people over. I watched him lower his shoulder and run a guy over. So I gotta cut him. I cut him some slack for those throws. Do we have to make them? Yes. Does it disgust me that he missed those throws? Yes, it does. I just feel like all of those little things leading up to that last situation would allow us to be in a more dominant position to get a win over those guys, man. Those guys aren't. They're not better than us, man. They just know how to win, and we haven't found Unless we're dominating, we haven't found that winning formula. That was a great. We had a minute and 50 to go down and make something shake. I feel like it was a good drive. We got down the field from like the 10. All commendable. All looks great on Lamar. But it's things that happened during that drive, like Justice Hill not getting out of bounds, the fact that we didn't have timeouts, the fact that we didn't spike the ball after a certain time. Like it's coaching nuances, it's discipline nuances that we're missing. That's just not going to allow us to beat a team that's coached so well, has the talent, and just knows how to win, man. Just know how to win. We're not going to win with the Lamar show. We're not. We're not. It's gonna look damn good. It's gonna be exciting as a motherfucker. But we're not gonna win. We're not gonna win a Super Bowl with just the Lamar show. And I thought that's why we was bringing in Derrick Henry. But I'm seeing Justice Hill in the game for more third downs than Derrick fucking Henry. I'm seeing Justice Hill in the game for more third downs than Derrick Henry. I'm just a Ravens fan, man. Yeah, I ain't hiding this time. It hurt just as bad as the AFC Championship. Crazy toe tap at the end. No touchdown. It's tragic, but I ain't hiding this time. I'm gonna be covering football all year. I got absolutely destroyed parlay wise. Raiders next. I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here. Just a Ravens fan.